While Subotai had been briefly mentioned in Alien vs. Predator Eternal, fans didn't know the true nature of this samurai, who had fought against unnatural forces for thousands of years. After the release of the Predator Xenogenesis 4-part comic miniseries, Subotai gained a lot more recognition as an immortal Japanese samurai who had dedicated his life toward fighting against predators. He even went as far as to join the Spearhead team to hunt these creatures, and today we'll explore his origins in detail and tell you everything about him. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What were Subotai's origins across different timelines? In Alien vs. Predator Eternal, Subotai was introduced as an immortal warrior by Gideon's son Lee, who even revealed the myth behind the man. As it turns out, Subotai had fed on predator flesh in order to extend his life and live over 200 years, but he eventually succumbed to death. This was quite a contradiction to his appearance in Predator Xenogenesis, which was also penned by the same writer, Ian Edgington. In this series, Subotai seems to live for over 1,000 years, and the contradiction can only make sense if we include that Gideon's son Lee was just not aware of Subotai's survival during the events of Eternal. Of course, this raises some eyebrows, and fans wondered how he survived fighting against all those predators over the course of 1,000 years. However, the Predator Xenogenesis comics do give us all the answers, and without further ado, let's explore his story arc. What was the background of Predator Xenogenesis? When did Subotai come into the picture? Published by Dark Horse Comics, Predator Xenogenesis was a 4-issue series that was released in 1999, and it created the foundation for the Predator element in the Aliens and Predator crossover. The first couple of issues followed the Predator as they arrived on Earth and started hunting humans, while Admiral Dancer formed a team of mercenaries and ex-heroes to fight them. Also known as the Spearhead, this team had an arsenal of high-tech weapons and state-of-the-art technology to combat these predators, but they had a hard time dealing with Admiral Dancer's ambitious plans. In the 3rd issue of the comic, the Spearhead team struggles with a mission and falls for a bait plan that almost results in their death, while Subotai wonders if Admiral John Dancer had gone too far in his mission to protect Earth. He heads to meet him at their base in Birmingham, and John does not seem too surprised when Subotai tracks him down. In fact, he even greets him like an old friend, while Subotai gets straight to business and asks him if the team will survive. While Dancer admits that their injuries were quite severe, he assures them that they rebuilt their bodies, and Subotai then accuses him of using them as toys. He even asks Dancer about the extent of his obsession, while the latter cheekily points out that Subotai is no different. In fact, he states that Subotai would feed on hearts to retain his youthful appearance, and even accuses him of being afraid of death. This comment gets to Subotai, and he pulls out his sword while reminding Dancer about the incident that occurred in Jakarta about 40 years ago. Immediately, Dancer starts apologizing frantically, and confesses that the stress of dealing with predators is just getting to him. It turns out that Dancer did not anticipate their intelligence, while Subotai pointed out that they were advanced creatures, even if their culture was largely based on hunting practices. He further explained that Dancer's decision to create a specialized team only caught their attention, and they were even more excited to hunt down these supernatural heroes as opposed to regular humans. Subotai tried to make Dancer understand that the predators viewed this as a full-fledged war game, and that this was only the beginning of worse things. He also declared that the predators would continue to bait them with their elaborate setups, and their only way out of this mess would be by luring them in instead. While Dancer was a bit lost, Subotai explained that they could bait them with a prize they couldn't resist, before finally offering himself as this so-called bait. As the comic reached its final issue, Admiral Dancer doubled down on the Spearhead team, and pressurized them to gear up for their next mission, while they wondered if this was the right way to go. It seemed like the predators were after them, and that they would not stop at luring bait until they killed every last member of the team. While Admiral Dancer was blinded by his desire for triumph, Subotai consulted with the team members and told them about Dancer's history. He then revealed that he used to be a different person as well, and that he was a reckless samurai slated for exile when he came across 2 dragons. One of them was a master while the other was a novice, and Subotai managed to kill the novice, even if it meant that the master would come for him. It didn't take the dragon too long to kill Subotai, and he was on the very verge of death, when a wise sage offered him the heart of a fallen dragon, and essentially blessed him with immortality. As the issue progresses, Subotai reveals that eating just one heart could boost one's lifespan by 200 years, and that he was dedicated to hunting predators down for all of eternity. This also explained his motivation behind joining Project Spearhead, and it was quite interesting how Subotai used his immortal enemies to boost his lifespan and take down as many predators as possible. While they have this conversation, their plan to use Subotai as bait works, and the predator who has been trying to hunt him down for ages shows up at the scene. However, Subotai is more than happy to step up to the challenge, and he engages in a fierce battle, wherein his opponent even gets his hands on Subotai's legendary sword. Even when his odds of surviving seem low, Subotai declares that he just won't die at the hands of his own sword, and he switches the flip. He overpowers his opponent and cuts off his arm before reclaiming his sword and killing the predator once and for all. While another one of their species sneaks up on them, Subotai prepares to fight him as well when Admiral Dancer shows up and creates a scene. He even tries to blame Subotai and other members of the team, such as Tyler Osterman, for Opal's death, but they all know that he's responsible. Moreover, the team also knew that Admiral Dancer was trying to create a bioweapon out of vivisected aliens, and the threat of predators pales in comparison to this moment when Subotai and Dancer finally face each other. When Dancer takes this moment to aim his weapon at the predator, Subotai asks him to hold his fire, while the predator also repeats the same thing and backs down. While the threat subsides, Subotai does point out that he had just killed one of their kind, and there's no telling as to what awaits them in the future. The Spearhead team wonders what he means by this, but Subotai tells them to ask him later, and that he is 1,000 years old and in desperate need of a nap, as this comic series comes to an end. What are Subotai's powers and abilities? Considering the fact that he had been alive for thousands of years, we can safely presume that he's blessed with immortality. Even if his ability to boost his lifespan depends on consuming hearts, he's managed to sustain himself for endless centuries and is technically immortal. In addition to this, he's a trained Japanese samurai who's been at the forefront of the battle against predators for at least 1,000 years. All this training and experience has boosted his combat skills to a whole new level, and he also has access to Project Spearhead's advanced technology, which shapes him into a ferocious fighter. Marvelous verdict. And with that, we've explored Subotai's intriguing origins and appearances in Predator Xenogenesis. Right from his initial days as a Japanese samurai to his eventual decision to join Project Spearhead, he's arguably a fascinating character, especially when one considers the extent to which he was willing to go to continue hunting down predators for all eternity. We hope you enjoyed exploring his origins with us, and do share your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.